crap, I'm alive. I haven't uploaded in 33 days or some shit, but I'm here. And we're on GCW. GCW hasn't been seen in like 2 months. Why is that? Well, mostly because I was a little tired of GCW. I was a little fed up with it. And yeah, I just needed a break. Regular uploads should start again soon. I'm not going to promise like daily episodes. I'm not going to promise an episode every 2 or 3 days. I'm going to try my best to at least aim for one a week. But yeah. So we have 3 series going right now. We got this one, we got WCW, and we got the modern day one with John Cena's retirement tour. WCW has had the most recent amount of episodes, so we'll do GCW, then we'll do John Cena, then we'll go back to WCW, and we'll do a little bit of each. So yeah, let's get into this. So on our pre-show for Fuel, Steven Richards beats Yoshihiro Tajiri with a Stevie kick. This is to showcase some rival pro talent, just to see where they're at on their progress, and it looks like Stevie Richards is pulling 58s. He's almost ready to come up to the main roster. Let's open the show. We're opening with The Rock and Mankind cutting promo. Out comes Jesse Ventura, Triple H, and Tyrell Ventura. I still haven't gotten the updated picture pack for GCW. I still don't have the logos. Still don't have the worker pictures for Tyrell and other like custom-made workers like Tyrell. So for now, this is what we're working with. Anyway, tonight The Rock faces Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. That was announced last week by Jesse Ventura. But we're adding a special stipulation tonight. Next, Mankind will face Tyrell Ventura, and the winner of that match will decide the stipulation for The Rock versus Triple H in the main event. So in 95, Mankind and Tyrell have their match. Mankind gets the win with a mandible claw. There was interference, bunch of interference. The Rock came in, Jesse Ventura came in, Triple H, Just Incredible, Lance Storm, Ron Simmons, and Bradshaw came out to help Mankind as well. So 78. We go to the back. Bradshaw and Ron Simmons are brawling with the Impact players after they're both interfering in the match. Also, Mankind for The Rock chooses a steel cage match tonight in the main event for The Rock versus Triple H. That way nobody can interfere on Triple H's behalf. 63. Booker T cuts a promo, calls out Bobby Duncombe Jr., and he comes out and they exchange words, and Booker wants to whoop that ass. And Duncombe is, of course, part of the Enterprise with Jesse Ventura and all that. Most heel wrestlers in this promotion are part of the stable. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio backstage, and Eddie tells Rey that he's got his back against Dean Malenko and Chad Dalton. Eddie will help Rey no matter what, because Rey has earned Eddie's respect. And Rey respects that. Rey thanks Eddie for that. So 75. Goldberg defeats D'Lo Brown next, continues his winning streak. I don't remember where he's at with that. But he wins with the jackhammer, and we get a 61 for that. And Goldberg is celebrating, and Raven comes out to the entrance ramp to stare down Goldberg. So 64. Chris Jericho cuts a promo. Out comes Sting, or vice versa. I don't remember how I booked it. But anyway, these two are exchanging words. They're meeting at, I think, Defiance is our next show. 86. Billy Kidman gets a win over Van Hammer. Because why not? Kidman needs some spotlight, and Van Hammer is getting paid to be here. So 656. Wins with the Shooting Star Press. 870. We're backstage. Al Snow is seen caring for D'Lo Brown after his loss to Goldberg, and he's shaken up, of course. Goldberg, he's a destructive force, right? So, anyway, up walks Franklin D. Riggs, and Franklin D. Riggs tells Al Snow that he can't face Franklin D. Riggs. He can't measure up to Franklin D. Riggs, and Al Snow tells him, well, how about this? How about next week you and I meet in the middle of the ring, and I can prove you wrong. So 38. This is the start of a new gimmick for Riggs here, and well, you'll see. 38. All right, Dean Malenko and Chad Dalton are in the ring. Dean cuts a promo. They're also part of the Enterprise, of course. And Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio come out, and yeah, tag match coming soon. I don't know. I don't remember if I made it for next week, but we'll find out. Our main event, World Heavyweight Championship, is on the line, and Triple H defeats The Rock in a cage after The Rock left the cage earlier in the match. The referee had been unconscious, so he missed it, whatever. Triple H cheated, we know that. But The Rock loses, and Triple H is the new world champion, a 99, and we end with a 91. So I'll be right back in just one moment with Ignition right now. Alright, we're on Ignition, April 21st, 1998. We're starting with Chris Benoit and Big Show cutting a promo. And tonight, we're going to see Chris Benoit versus the Big Show for the United States Championship, which gets a 73. We go on to Kanyon versus Rikishi. If Kanyon gets the win tonight, he and Shane Douglas get a World Tag Title shot against Too Cool, and Kanyon does end up getting the win, hitting Rikishi with the flatliner. And this pulls an 87. How does this pull an 87? I don't know, but Kanyon, you're the GOAT. And backstage, we see Christian and Edge brawling with Jeff and Matt Hardy. We're on an episode of Buff TV. Buff Bagwell is here, and he's interviewing the man, Val Venus. And hello, ladies. Welcome to Buff TV. I'm joined here tonight with our special guest, Vivi. BB and Vivi are here tonight. And Venus talks about his relationship with Sonny, and he didn't mean to harm Chris Candido. It's just Sonny is so hot that Val Venus wanted a piece of that action. So that's what happened, and now Val Venus is done with her. And yeah, but Sonny is done with Chris too. And Buff kind of likes Val Venus, and they seem to get along well. So, tag team. We got an interview in the ring with Michael Cole interviewing Meat. This is the return of Meat. And Meat talks about his opponent tonight. Meat is ready for anybody who wants to face Meat in the middle of the ring. And Meat. Alright, so who is facing Meat? Brian Pillman makes his return to GCW. We haven't seen Pillman in a pretty short while. Regardless, Pillman absolutely dismantles Meat in this match. And he pulls a 99 due to them having great chemistry. But, yeah. So Pillman is back. His mannerisms aren't exactly the same. When he's doing it, when he's making his entrance, he seems composed. He seems relaxed. But he almost feels like too perfect when he's making his entrance. Every movement seems calculated. Something's off about his presence. And his valet, of course, Terry, is accompanying him to the ring, and she seems to be a bit more normal, a bit more lively. But regardless, afterwards, after Brian Pillman absolutely destroys Meat and doesn't let him get any offense in, and just destroys him, basically. Pillman, after the match, doesn't do any fantastical celebrations. He just stands there, staring at Meat, and pulls out a business card and drops it on Meat's chest before leaving the ring and ever so slowly making his way to the back. Something's off with Brian Pillman. 63. We got a promo next. DX cutting a promo. Billy Gunn and Perry Saturn comes out. Perry Saturn gets to explain why he helped Billy Gunn. He remembers what it's like to be banished by other members of your so-called family, just like Raven did to him. Perry Saturn is here to make sure that Billy Gunn doesn't face this alone like he had to. So we get a 65 out of this. Taz and Fit Finlay, this is just a nothing match to fill some time on the card, but trying to get Taz some action. And he gets the win with the Taz mission. Still 71, it's not too bad. Chris Candido cuts promo, calls out Sonny, and he wants to resolve this right here, right now. And Sonny comes out and he says, Candido, you just can't measure up to me. I need a real man. And Chains jumps Chris Candido and beats him down. So it looks like Sonny is with Chains now. We got Satoshi Kojima versus RVD in 1452. Kojima gets the win with the Koji Cutter. This is a great match just to showcase RVD and see what he can do against Kojima. And it's also to put him over just like we did with Dustin Rhodes. Kojima shakes RVD's hand and puts him over after the match. Just raises his hand. Even though RVD doesn't get the win, he seems to be able to go toe-to-toe with Kojima with Dustin Rhodes. Big stars in GCW. So 67 right there. Steve Austin cuts promo. He's facing Kane at our next pay-per-view, Defiance. And yeah, just a quick little 10-minute promo. And we get our main event. United States Championship is on the line, and Chris Benoit gets the win over the Big Show with a surprise cradle after Undertaker distracted the Big Show. And Benoit makes defense number 2 of the United States Championship. Afterwards, we get a brawl, Big Show and Undertaker. But Benoit jumps into it as well and swinging a chair at both these guys. 86, a 92, $500,000. We get some popularity increases. Tri-State's up to a 93 now, which is amazing. And that's going to be this episode of GCW. As I said, it has been a while since the last time, but we're back now. I'm obvious, as you can see, I am alive, and yeah. And it looks like JPUK is in a terrible position here. $8 million. We can buy out JPUK for $8 million. Do they have anything I want? Let's see. Negligible. No difference. No difference to our popularity anywhere. If we absorb them, we lose $8 million. We have 69. Nice. $1 million to play with right now. Our merchandise currently upgrading, so that's no worry there. Does their roster? Do they have anybody on their roster that I might want? Nope. Sabu. Sabu's decent, but not $8 million decent. Not really. They don't really have anybody that is jumping out at me. Like Sabu, it would be fun, but again, I don't. I'm so bad at booking Sabu. It's not even funny. Like I can't book Sabu. I can't book ECW guys to save my life. I can somewhat do Rob Van Dam and Taz sometimes, but they kind of just get lost in the shuffle for me because most of them aren't really good promos either, right? So they just get lost, but whatever. So it doesn't look like there's anybody. I forgot I'm still doing Saturday Night's Wrestling. That show is still going on. I totally forgot about that. How long does that have on its contract? NBC. Till June. Okay, still 2 more months. That's not that bad. But regardless, this is where we're going to end today's episode. Let's check our champions to end the show. Steve Austin is the champion. Rey Mysterio is the Cruiserweight champion. Dean Malenko is IC champion. Tag champs are the Impact players. US champ is Chris Benoit. Tag champs are Too Cool. And Triple H is the World Heavyweight Champion once again. And that's going to be it for today. Make sure to like if you like this video, subscribe if you want more. Hopefully to not another 33 days. We'll see you guys in the next time. I promise it won't be a month. Goodbye.